I knew something was wrong the moment she started packing. Not in the frantic, guilty way you'd expect from someone who was leaving. No, her movements were calm, deliberate, as though this decision had been rehearsed for months in her head. "Rachel," I said, standing in the doorway of our bedroom, my chest tightening as I watched her fold clothes into a suitcase. "What are you doing?" She didn't flinch. She didn't even pause. "I just need space, Daniel. Time to figure things out." Faith. That word again. Hated it. It wasn't new. She'd used it before weeks earlier, when she started going on late dinners with friends and overnight trips for her new job. I had told myself it was stress, that marriage naturally went through valleys. But standing there, watching my wife pack, I felt the truth pressing against my ribs. "Are you leaving me?" My voice cracked. Her hand hesitated on the zipper of the suitcase. She finally looked up, meeting my eyes. Her gaze was steady, almost rehearsed. "No, Daniel. I just need to see something. For myself." I frowned. "See what?" "If you're really the man I should be with." Those words cut deeper than a knife. They hollowed me out in one breath. For the first few days after she left, I tried to convince myself it wasn't as bad as it seemed. She texted me occasionally, short, detached updates like "I'm fine," "Don't worry," or "Hope you're eating." Nothing of substance. I clung to those scraps, trying to believe she was just sorting through her emotions. But then came the silence. A week without a word. Then two. My calls went unanswered, my messages left on read. I felt like a ghost haunting my own marriage. It was a mutual friend, Emily, who finally broke the truth to me. We ran into each other at the grocery store. Her face pale as though she'd seen something she shouldn't have. "Daniel," she said carefully, lowering her voice. "Have you talked to Rachel lately?" "Not really." "Why?" She hesitated, biting her lip. "I shouldn't say this, but she's staying with someone. Guy. His name's Tyler. She told people she needed to know if you were good enough for her before she committed fully to you." The air left my lungs. My knees nearly buckled. "She moved in with another man." Emily's silence was answer enough. The betrayal wasn't just in the act itself. It was in the justification. She wasn't confessing to a mistake, a one-night lapse in judgment. She was testing me, as if our marriage was a lab experiment and my heart the disposable variable. That night, I sat alone in our quiet house, staring at the indentation her pillow still made in the bed. Every corner of the place carried her shadow. Her perfume lingering in the bathroom, her mug still by the sink. And now, she was in another man's bed, deciding if I deserved her. I couldn't sleep. My mind played cruel films. Rachel laughing with him over coffee, slipping into his arms at night, whispering secrets that used to be mine. My chest burned with anger, but beneath it was something worse, shame. Shame that I hadn't been enough. Shame that I had loved her so completely while she treated me like a backup plan. 2 weeks later she came back. It was late evening when I heard her key in the door. I was sitting on the couch in the dark, the TV flickering without sound. When she stepped inside, she froze at the sight of me. "Daniel." Her voice was soft, almost cautious. "You're still here." I laughed bitterly. "Where else would I be? This is my home." She set her bag down, smoothing her hair like she was trying to compose herself. "I know this looks bad." "Looks bad." My voice was sharp. "You left your husband to live with another man, because you wanted to see if I was worthy of you. Do you hear how insane that sounds?" She winced but didn't look away. I needed clarity. Felt like I wasn't sure if we were truly right for each other. And Tyler. He was just a way for me to see things clearly. I stood, my hands shaking. "You used me. You used him. You treated marriage like some trial run. Did you ever think about what this did to me?" Tears welled in her eyes, but I saw guilt, not love. "I'm sorry, Daniel. I realized it was a mistake. I know now you're the one I want." Her words should have soothed me. Months earlier, I would have killed to hear them. But now they rang hollow, tainted by every night she'd spent in someone else's arms while I sat alone drowning in doubt. I shook my head. No, you don't get to come back and act like this is your choice. You don't get to decide if I deserve you. I deserve someone who doesn't put me on trial. Her tears fell then, silent streaks down her cheeks. Please, don't throw this away. We can fix it. I looked at her, this woman I had once trusted more than anything, and felt the final thread snap inside me. It's already broken, Rachel. You broke it the moment you needed to test my worth. The divorce was messy, not legally but emotionally. She begged, pleaded, sent me long emails full of half apologies and promises. But the more she wrote, the clearer it became. She wasn't sorry for what she did. She was sorry it didn't work out the way she planned. Friends were divided. Some called me cold, said marriages go through trials, that forgiveness was part of love. But others looked at me with quiet respect, like they understood the weight of betrayal that deep. A night I replayed everything. Our first date, her laughter echoing through that little Italian restaurant. The night I proposed, my hands trembling as she said yes. Our wedding vows, spoken with conviction I thought was real. Were those moments lies? Or had she meant them once, before deciding to gamble with my heart? I'll never know. Months later, I heard she tried to reconcile with Tyler too, but he had already moved on. She ended up alone, cycling between temporary apartments and half-hearted relationships. Me. I found something unexpected in the ashes, peace. It wasn't immediate. Healing was jagged, uneven. There were nights I still woke up expecting to find her beside me, mornings where the grief was so heavy I could hardly breathe. But slowly life stitched itself back together. I learned to cook new meals just for myself. I ran in the early mornings, letting sweat and exhaustion bleed out the bitterness. I started painting again, something I hadn't touched since college. And one day, standing in front of a canvas streaked with messy blues and golds, I realized I felt something I hadn't in months. Freedom. Rachel had left to see if I was worth her. But in the end, it was I who discovered the truth. She was never worth me.